including what forms of cyberbullying. Now, all this is just office politics and all that, okay? Now, the whole issue here is that watu wanalipa pesa to driving schools, and they're colluding with the officials from NTSA for you to, for example, you walk into driving school, you don't want to go through the testing, you don't want to go through the whole drama
drive,
and everything.
Surely.
But, well, allegedly you can drive.
I can move the car from here, I step from here to there. I engage the Nini here and I engage the other one.
Yes.
And I move.
So then now what happens is you nachota kitu kidogo. Now part of that money goes all the way up.
In NTSA?
Yes.
So you don't have to do the test?
So you don't have necessarily to do the test.
But I can get a certificate?
Yeah, araka. You have no time to go to, I don't know, how long do people take nowadays? I did mine long time ago. Is it 2 weeks, 1 month or whatever? So instead of going to the main road roundabouts like everybody else, unaingia na pesa yako, you say, you know what, wacha hii story ni story mrefu. Sasa fanya hivi, shika hii kitu, nipatie license. So that money then goes through different brokers in between, all the way to NTSA. I mean, this thing the thing is, it's not a new story really.
I get it.
It has always happened. It has always happened. So the main issue here now is you have now senior officials at NTSA who are part of this racketeering ring.
But you know, the crazy issue also here is that there's a reason why you're asked to do a driving test as well as to do driving training.
Yes.
So that you can come out as somebody who we are going to allow to be on the roads operating a vehicle. Now, do you wonder, we were trying to make a connection between all of the accidents that we see on the roads, and then how you're driving sometimes, and then somebody will make a comment like, oh my God, where did this one get his or her license? Now here we are, and we are seeing the direct result of mediocrity playing out. So beyond the people who are getting the bribes, who are we putting on the roads? Because, Dennis, if this is a story that's being reported, it's not 1 or 2 cases. It's practice. So how many people are on the roads without the right documentation, having not gone through the test?
Tunaendesha magari kimungu.
Nakwambia.
So there's a letter that was written to the Director General, the NTSA Director rather, in charge of road safety, Andrew Kiplagat. Now, in that letter, it indicated that driving school operators were bribing NTSA examiners.
For what? So that you can pass the exam?
Yes, and refer to the loot as the loot. Remember the handouts you're talking about? So hii pesa napeana polisi wakuja jukwaa la usalama, whatever. What do you call it? Ni fair, ni handouts,
so whatever.
Bribery, whatever.
No, handout sounds like
handout.
It's bad. Handout sounds like a handout.
So now in this case, the loot is being described as appreciation.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Okay.
So the appreciation is what is now given to the NTSA officials.
For giving me a license when I have not done the test.
Yes. However, this appreciation is levied per student. So further, the authority has been made aware that driving training instructors have been mobilizing money from the learner driver student for presentation to NTSA driver test examiners. Okay. So what used to happen, Kitambo, when we didn't have these NTSA maneno, so you have a police officer in the lorry with you. So you are like 10 of you at the back.
Yeah.
So each of you will take a turn.
Yeah, you drive for like 200 meters, whatever.
Yes, you go, Panda Mlima, and so they're checking how to do. So you're taught.
Clutch, brake,
make sure
clutch,
you put your seatbelt, adjust your side mirrors, your rearview mirror. Make sure clutch, brake. Where is your hand? Yeah. Are you holding the steering wheel? 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever. 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Yeah. So all those things. So the officer is like, and Ivy, mine what he did. He was on his phone. So he's like, weka gear. Enter. I just barely moved. He's like, kanyega brake, toka.
Next.
So I'm like, just like that. And it was on a hill. So later what would happen in the class, there are those who have paid money. So when you've paid money, you have no pressure. But when you're inside that lorry with the police officer and you have not paid that bribe, chances are you might actually be disqualified just because you didn't pay the money.
Oh, for golly's sake. And what's the going rate, I wonder? According to this, what's the going rate for a license?
Are they giving a going rate? Let me just check. It's a very long story.
Yeah.
I don't think they're mentioning any figures at the moment because the probe is still on. But I think anybody who's gone to driving school lately can tell us.
Honestly
You
speaking,
can tell us how much money
Are they asking
Is it
you now
1,000,
for-
2,000?
we're just sacrificing things for 1,000 shillings.
Yes.
For goodness sake.
All right. So, how cartels cattle cheap fertilizer plan? The government ambitious fertilizer subsidy program, a centerpiece of President William Ruto's bottom-up economic transformation agenda, was hijacked by cartels and unscrupulous traders who exploited loopholes in the system, an anti-graft report has now revealed. Rolled out in 2023 to ease production costs for farmers, the program was meant to guarantee affordable inputs and boost food security. Now, instead, according to a report by the ESCC, systemic weaknesses opened the door for manipulation, fraud, and the supply of substandard fertilizer that left thousands of farmers exposed. The September report, currently at the office of the Principal Secretary for Agriculture, details how government agencies then bungled oversight, creating opportunities for profiteers to infiltrate the subsidy chain from registration of farmers to procurement, warehousing, distribution, and sales. The registration of farmers, a critical factor in determining the beneficiaries of the subsidies fertilizer, was riddled with irregularities. The digital registration system, the Kenya Integrated Agricultural Management Information System, accepted multiple registrations from the same farmer on the same piece of land. So the audit shows ward agricultural officers tasked with verifying farmers' details were not properly facilitated with transport or ICT tools. They were supposed to financially... let's just say, pesa ilikulwa.
Kabisa. My goodness.
Yes. And the amounts we're talking about here is actually a lot of money. We're looking at 200, where is that? Around 209.5 million fake fertilizer scandal, whatever, pesa ilikulwa, other things were mixed in the bags and whatnot. So ni cartels.
It's cartels.
Shida
That's
si
what it is.
serikali.
It's a lot of money.
It's just that serikali it bungled. They never really put some clear systems.
And it's a lot of money that's finding its way. In this sense, it's not trickling down.
Yes.
If there's a way for things to trickle up, then that's exactly what's happening. You know what? I did a horrible thing.
What did you do?
I didn't greet people this morning. Can you imagine? I'm really sorry, folks.
It's Monday blues.
In my mind, I thought
It's
something
Monday
is
blues.
missing. I haven't done something. We haven't done something. And then it's hit me in the head like a rock.
Something is missing.
Yeah.
You do that before top of the hour?
I don't
What?
know, but I don't know. Look, I can just do, our collective greeting this morning. And
Or Salimiana, we then go back to the dailies again.
oh, okay,
There are more
look,
stories
why
today.
there are more stories, definitely, as we've
Yes.
looked into the headlines. And we can definitely say good morning to folks who've taken the time to click in and join us on the show this morning. And thank you for reminding me, because I was like, no, something is missing. And sure enough, there it is. And that's what we didn't do. So you know what? Why not? That we can stop in the middle of it all and then just say good morning to you, because you know what? You guys do it for us every day. And a very, very good morning to you, Don Sabwa. And of course, you know what? He's got a question for you, Mr. Okari. Did we lose it when we moved Linda Mama to Linda Jami, killing the principle of free maternity, the hyped mother's care? Did we lose it?
Well, the mothers lost it.
There we go. There's your answer, Don Sabo. A very good morning to you. Peter Kiari is tuned in this morning from Mombasa and says, you might see me bend sometime. You may see me cry. Sometimes you might see me stumble. But one thing you won't see me do is quit. There it is, and there is motivation as we get into Monday. Stanley Gasha says, good morning from Juja. Good to have you here. R says, to Merudi, where have you been, R? We know they're always clicking in. Asante Sana. Hello, it's been a while. Let's keep it spice, says Bakora. Good morning to you. Tuning from Mombasa is Robert Mbogo, and Jimmy Munuthi is here as well. Good morning to you. Agola says, good morning, Spices. Eliana Yabesh says, it's a new week. Very unfortunate. The former DP can't see beyond his tribe. Really? When will you have Matiang'i in the hot seat? We'll ask Dennis. When will we have Matiang'i in the hot seat?
Tunamtafuta tu.
Tunamtafuta. My prince says, hi. Trump said he'd always put America first and encourage other leaders to prioritize their own countries. When a government grants immunity to a foreign NGO, is it truly putting its country first? Well, there's a question. Sarah Kilonzo says, good morning. Kenya's biggest conversation. Indeed, it is. Erica Ward, good morning as well. Melbourne, knock, knock. Who's there? It's Melbourne. Desmond says, good morning. Uhuru T, good morning to you. Monica Njoroge is tuned in. Let the show begin, and we're into it. Ola Watuangu says, Manpi, good morning. Mama J says, good morning. Our sympathies to Dennis, who had to sit through hours of uncorroborated statements from the former DP. Where? Agola, we are sorry, we'll fix it. Sawa. Lillian Mongara is tuning from Bombalulu. Mashari and Jerry says, good morning, watching from Portland in Oregon. A very good morning to Spice Team from here in Atlanta, says Soldier Boy. I watched Aseto say, Kaongo amekanyaga wire. He said. Simon Kibiru says, good morning from Mombasa. Another day for the biggest conversation. Let the party begin indeed. Sabalheri nyote, Mombasani Tupo, says Rogers Line. Good to have you here this morning as well. Christopher Ogore says, tuned in as usual from Maseno. JDDD Dots. Ndu, sing a little Najoto Itakuja. Sindo, good morning. We'll look into a song for tomorrow, I promise. Tibbs Muge says, good morning. Microsoft plan is coming to effect. Create a problem, then change your solution. Subscriptions will be the norm. That's what we're looking at. Ken John Mutu says, good morning. Tuned in from Kirinyaga. Good to have you in the room this morning. Dr. Fico says, good morning. Ndu and Dennis listening from Nairobi today. Oh, Karibu Sana. Louis Rudasingwa is tuned in this morning as well. Mtuflani, we see you. Blessed to have you as well. Good morning, good people, says Duke. Good morning. The sisters, good week, good day indeed. And good morning to Christina. Bud Disciple is tuned in from Kiambu, Riabai. Josh Willie says, good morning, how was your weekend? Fantastic, good to have you here. Mutuflani wants us to ask Rose and Jerry when we talk to her if it's possible to have a website that actually shows the qualifications and track records of all aspirants during the upcoming 2027 election. That's a good question. We'll see if we can get into it. Soldier Boy, we see you. Did they not see Raila traveling? Or was it understood he has a private airport? I don't know. Stella, everybody, good morning. Michael Olanda is tuned in this morning. Bwangi Juma, how are you all? It's a blessed Monday. Indeed, it is. Amaya Okeo is tuned in this morning and says corruption results too many accidents. And yeah, and unfortunately, that's what it's looked like. Oh, Foucault says the fee is called Pesa Yambuzi. You don't sit the exams without paying. Okay, there's a thing. All right. Isa Kale says, good morning. Here for what situations are in the room. Karibu Sana. Thank you always, Isa. Amram says, good morning. Amram J, greetings are important. It is very important, I'm telling you. At least to nakaribisha watu, at least. Thomas Osoro is tuned in. It depends on how your weekend was. It was all right. And so here we are getting into it. Wycliffe Sunday is tuned in this morning. Atieno, good morning. Oyawa Uru from Kilifi, where the weather is perfect at the moment. Love you too. Aaron Wamukoya is tuned in this morning, live from the CBD. Adala Calvins, good morning, Team Spice. Are there plans by the IEBC to extend voter registration to the diaspora? It's a big question. In terms of what they can or cannot do. We'll be tackling that and we'll have that conversation at 9. King Dave says, good morning. Billy Okoth is tuned in from Garissa. Bernard Adala, good morning. Ndu Dennis Asante Sana, you're too kind, Bernard. Tanai Naisuma says, good morning, locked in. Liberal Kenyan is also here. Onganga Ken says, Bwakire, and then you say, Bwakire what?
Wakire Via.
Bwakire Via? Via is
Via.
Via.
Not Via. Vuya sounds Luya. Vuya.
Vuya.
It's B, but you say Boo.
Vuya.
Wakire Via.
Okay, got it.
It sounds very romantic and poetic.
And all you're saying is good morning. Can you imagine if you say I love you?
I told you.
How would you say I love you in Kisi? You don't know?
No,
or you don't say it?
No, we don't. So for us Kisi men, we say it at the appropriate time.
When is the appropriate time to say I love you?
It means a lot. We just don't throw it out.
You don't just say it anyhow.
That's why you would not just hear. Why?
Why?
You know, they say the most romantic language is what? Spanish.
Yes.
It's Spanish.
It's French.
It's French.
French, yes.
Where is Spanish?
It's also there. It's a romantic.
So French, Spanish.
Yes.
Kissy is up there.
Oh, sorry. You still haven't told me. You think I'm one of those people ask? I want to know.
I'll tell you off camera.
Oh, wait. All right. Locked in. Dennis Kagwongo says, good morning. Moriega. Timoru. I'm the one who said the Timoru part. Good morning, Chebebe. Good morning. Anokari, super week ahead indeed to you, Dan Steele. Good to have you. Joki Waweru, looking forward to a fruitful day and week. Thank you so much. Wabua Sami says, many greetings. Samuel Kibor is tuned in from Brussels. Good morning, everybody. And sorry we did that late, but, important for us to do it anyway. Indeed, greetings are very, very important. And so thank you for always tuning in. And even as we come back into that and look into some more stories that are making the headlines, let me give you the details of one of those stories, Dennis. Mm-hmm. This one of court orders, whether you obey them or not. I don't know that it would appear that you have a choice to obey or not to obey. When the courts pronounce themselves in disputes following years or decades of tussles, parties winning the cases celebrate and the majority show a sigh of relief. As in, finally, this thing has gone through the courts and we're okay. But whatever transpires after the court's verdict has left little to be desired, with litigants complaining of non-compliance with court orders, decrees and verdicts, especially in civil cases where, if there was money to be paid over time, sometimes doesn't happen.
Yes.
Judgments entered into the government have been ignored, while litigants winning land and succession cases have found it hard to enjoy property despite fighting so hard due to resistance. March 12th, 2025, 700 descendants of freedom fighters won a land dispute against some 200 squatters. Justice Anthony Ombwayo declared the descendants owners of a 100-acre piece of land in Njoro, Nakuru County. The court ordered Njoro Golf Club squatters to vacate the land within 90 days or face eviction by June 2025. Now, Kamanga Mukonyoro, a freedom fighter, had waited since the early 1990s for the case to be concluded. However, to date, he has been unable to evict the squatters. According to his son, James Minor, some of the squatters had refused to vacate part of the land they'd been calling home for decades. You see now, the case has been in court for decades. People have settled. It has become their home. The court comes after I don't know how many years and says, okay, you know what? They need to get out from the particular land. But they're so used to it. You can imagine 30 years, you've grown a family, you've got children, and then they tell you to leave. I'm not saying that you get into somebody's land, but you can imagine now the difficulty that you're met with when you're now trying to say, okay, fine, get out. Where are you going? This is where your roots are. What are you supposed to do? We tend to think of squatters as having makeshift settlements, but in some cases, 30 to 40 years, it has become permanent because after all, 1990 to 2025 is 35 years.
That's a whole generation.
Yes, it is.
A whole generation that doesn't know anything else.
If you are 10, you are now 45.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So, we advised them to vacate, they said, but they refused. Minor said the eviction order had created enmity between the two groups, and despite relying on the court's decree, they faced resistance. We engaged our lawyers and attempted to reason with the opposing parties, but they refused and appealed. Despite appeal, no stay was issued, and the Mau Mau descendants were forced to move back to the court to seek a compelling order. So June 25th, Judge Ombwayo issued an eviction order to the squatters for refusing to vacate the premises despite losing the dispute. He gave them a grace period of 3 months. The judge was also forced to order the officer commanding Joro Police Station to provide security to the families and auctioneers to maintain law and order during the eviction. And you know what we are doing right now in October 2025? The case is still there. They have not been evicted. They have refused to go despite a court order. Here we are.
Life is hard, man.
I'm telling you, it really is. But it's reminiscent of across the board. On so many things, courts have pronounced themselves. So what do you expect? This is not a government case. This is a case between two communities essentially warring each other. But I'm going to take the tone that's set. After all, I'll tell you, well, court orders. Oh, the court said. There's so many cases where court has said something and nobody has done anything about it. So I don't have to move. What has happened to them? This is an example of what we see. This is a pure example of that thing that we see, where court orders are dismissed as though it was a suggestion of whether we are going to town.
And you see, there's a precedent that is set.
Absolutely.
The tone is set from the very top.
100%.
If from the very top we follow the law and the rules and the court orders and respect what the courts then rule, everybody else down the line will toe the line. You'll have no option. But the fact that you'll hear statements like, okay, you'll just throw the court order into dustbin. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, si tuko hapa.
Yeah.
I've been here for 40 years.
Yeah.
Sasa mutadu. I have businesses here. I'm rooted here. This is my house. Will you compensate me if you take it down? What are you going to do?
Stall it for another 40 years.
Exactly.
Who cares?
What do you expect?
That's the story of our country.
Yep.
The story of our country. Now, there's a good conversation happening in the Senate.
All right.
And this conversation is something that we've all had an issue with. This is the certificate of good conduct.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. So senators are pushing for the Ministry of Interior and the National Police Service, NPS, to make the certificate of good conduct valid for a lifetime. And I guess this is a very, very good discussion.
Yeah.
And this is only to be revoked only upon conviction. So the lawmakers are arguing that the cost of renewing the document every year while seeking employment, especially for a lot of young people who are the bulk of the unemployed, is prohibitive, as it is both costly and tiring. Now, currently, the certificate of good conduct is valid for a year upon issuance, so you renew every year. Further, the lawmakers want the national government to automate and decentralize the issuance of the document to streamline its issuance, renewal, and verification. So the lawmakers decried how the current manual application system is prone to delays and inconsistencies. So they are calling upon the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja-led entity, to establish decentralized services points and deploy mobile registration units. So take this thing to Huduma centers in sub-counties also. Take them to the DCI offices in the sub-counties and let this thing be paid once. And when the day you appear in court and you're convicted of committing a crime, that's the only time you revoke it. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to keep renewing it every year.
I actually agree, because it's the same person. They do the same process. It's no different. They're not asking you for different...
You haven't changed.
You haven't changed. It's still you.
You know the way they say driving license? So it expires, then you're arrested. You don't have a driving license.
Yeah.
So the day it expires doesn't mean that you stopped knowing how to drive a car.
You can still drive a vehicle.
Exactly.
So why?
But this is going to remove a source of revenue. Because every year renewing. Yeah. Pesa kwa serikali.
Watakubali kweli? Hiyo ndio swali. Those are the things that we're looking at. Rose and Jerry, Irongo Houghton in the hot seats. After the break with the news. Good morning. It's 7 a.m.
Around the world, 94.4 Spice FM. This is the